Okay, so when you're training your chest and you're doing fly movements, there's a couple of things that I like to do. So the first one is to use cables instead of dumbbells. This is because the cables have a better resistance profile. So essentially there's more tension throughout the whole movement. When you use a dumbbell, there's only tension in this bottom lengthen range here. And as you come up, there's no real tension at all. So the cables is preferable over dumbbells in most cases. So the next thing is technique with flies. So a lot of people will butcher flies because they'll use too much weight, and they turn it into a press. They internally rotate in the shoulders, and this takes tension off the chest. So when you're doing a fly, one thing that you really need to be aware of is keeping your scapula tight. You don't have to keep it rock solid. It can move slightly, but you need to control that movement, because what happens is people have no control over it and they end up in this position here. So the next thing is, when you're aiming to do a fly and hit your chest, you need to really think about your upper arm, your bicep, not your wrist and hand. So really think about driving your bicep into your armpit, into the side of the chest here, and that's going to help get into that shortened and contracted position where you should feel nearly like a cramp at the top. So when you set up your flies, you can set these up in 3 different ways to target different areas of the chest. So if you set up a low to high fly, you're going to be going from a low position coming up. It's going to target the upper chest more. And then if you come straight across, you're going to be going more to the middle of the chest, and then you can come high to low then. So that will be targeting more of the lower chest. Middle, you line up the cable with the middle of your chest, upper back nice and tight. Think of driving your bicep into your arm. Control the way out. So when you're doing a high to low fly, you really want to focus on going downwards at the bottom. So you're not trying to press in, you're trying to finish by going down, and that's going to really help contract the chest. So with the low to high, you want to make sure and think of coming up towards your clavicle here at the top, so you're really contracting hard here. So when you're doing any of these cable flies, the key is to try to line it up correctly so that the cable runs through directly your shoulder, elbow, wrist, whichever way you're doing it, it lines up, and that's just going to help to keep tension on the chest and away from the joints and other areas.